Hi, this is Paul from TradeSwift.com. I just wanted to go through Zoom. I've got one entry on Zoom, 131.61. I want to go through the time frames. Those that know me, I always go through the time frames to frame the chart and to see what's going off. Relatively new stock. Got a lot of potential here. Some of the early traders were getting in around about 76.80. But what I've done so far, excuse the ding-dings, that is my alerts for day trading. But what I'm looking at the moment is the weekly chart, and this is the channel. So I framed this move up during 2020. We've got the highs, we've got the lows in the channel there, and more importantly, the center line of the channel is very important to track this trend. You'll see more on the daily time frame. So when we look at the daily time frame, I've got some linear support and resistance zones that are really, really key here. My entry, again, was 131.61. When we came up to test this resistance level, initially we came back down to test support, and we've gone up through, test the top end of that weekly channel, we come back down to test that support again. That coincidence around that linear support and resistance zone and the channel's very key there. And then when it moved back through this pivot, that's when I was entering 131.61. We've then gone on and tested the upper bound of the channel again, hit the highs, and now we're coming back again. For me, this is a longer term play. Who's to say that this won't be worth $250 in the next 5 years? It's a young stock. It's got lots of potential, and who's to say those that didn't, that entered into Microsoft at $130, it's now at $270. So there's lots of potential, and sometimes you've got to give these time. So what am I going to do right now? I'm going to hold. We've got earnings coming up in June, quite a long way away, but I expect them to be pretty good. So we've got some scenarios coming down here. We did get that gap down yesterday, and that's formed a wave 4 on our Elliott wave indicator suite here. But more likely or not, it's going to continue to come down and test this previous support and resistance zone, even the bottom of this channel. Now, I'm not going to get worried, because for me, if this just come below my original entry and it found support at this bottom end of this channel, or even this big support and resistance zones down here, and starts to move away, I'll add some more, thus reducing my average holding cost of Zoom. I fully expect there to be some great earnings coming up in June. I'm just going to hold on. If it does come below my original entry again, I can get that average holding position down. If it holds and starts to move up again, I may look to add when it goes back through the center line of this channel. So when we look at the center line of the channel, when you're drawing these channels on your chart, you've really got to see these tests here for resistance. Really great tests here. That coincidence as well, resistance at this linear support and resistance zone, very, very key as well. So it's a short-term channel, really. It's only for this year. We can go back into the end of 2019 and see that support level being formed and then start to move off. But in reality, this is really short-term for investing at the moment, this channel. Let's just see if it can hold. But for me, there's lots of positives to hold Zoom right now. Potentially, we've got a fifth wave target forming up here. Now, it's only early days yet, because we need this wave 4 to find support. We're looking for a higher support zone than this here, down around 110. If that happens, we've got potentially $193 into our automated fifth wave target zone there. So there's some good potential there, and it may not be until the next round of earnings that happens. But right now, it's a young stock. Sometimes you've got to take a punt. Technically, looks great, good growth this year. There's always going to be some profit taking and a bit of pullback. What happens today, I don't know. If it gaps up and we've got the Lone Star Doji there, fantastic. If it doesn't and it continues to slide down, we'll look at that volume on the slide down and look for it to hold support in or around my original entry into this support zone. But if it does break that, we've got some other support there to help us. Okay, so again, apologize for the ding-dings. This is, I've got a lot of signals coming off and I don't tend to switch them off. So have a great trading day, and I'll speak to you all really soon.